This morning, BMO Investments and Cathie Wood's ARK Invest unveiled the BMO ARK funds, including 3 ETFs managed by ARK's team, which are now trading on the Toronto Stock Exchange. Our very own John Erlichman sat down with Cathie Wood to discuss disruptive innovation opportunities in Canada. Wood says she's betting on Shopify. Take a listen.
We own that stock in both ARKK and ARKW because it introduced us to this concept of social commerce. That's very interesting. I see my son buying clothes off of TikTok and Instagram, and I'm saying, he doesn't go to stores at all. Well, Shopify enabled that. So, and I know Shopify became the largest part of the index, so you might say, okay, we've got that covered. It's a 3 to 4% position in ARKK, and we think it's going to be a spectacular stock going forward. We really do, because even though Facebook might say, okay, we're dialing down our social commerce, their move into the metaverse is going to be social commerce. It has to be almost, and so we think Shopify will be a big part of that. So yes, I would agree with Tom. The commodity and industrial base that Canada has historically had, our innovation strategies are a really great diversifier and pair trade.
And before I wrap things up, Cathie, Shopify, people here know the Shopify story relatively well, but you talked about some of the areas of growth, let's say over the next decade, for people who are trying to get a sense on the areas that you're most passionate about. I know some of it's already on the internet, it's out there, but what would you say to people who are thinking about investing in the next big thing?
Oh, the next big thing. We think one of the biggest innovations of our generations, and this is multiple generations now, will be autonomous taxi platforms. So right now, cruise automation in the U.S., they might have a few million in commercial sales by the end of this year. We think that is going to $9 to $10 trillion in the next 8 to 10 years, because the cost of transportation will come down as we move away from drivers, and that will increase access. So we'll get a lot more of it. So that's very exciting. Curing disease. Most people don't think that's possible. What they have come to expect is managing symptoms. But instead of that, now that DNA sequencing is allowing us to identify mutations in the 6 billion bits of code in our genome, once we identify them, now we can edit them. So this programming error, and we get more of them as we age, this programming error potentially can be edited, and the disease certainly alleviated, if not cured. We're seeing cures already. Beta thalassemia, sickle cell disease, ATTR, those are blood-related, and the transformations are astonishing, meaning people who had to go into the hospital 17 times a year for emergency blood transfusions don't have to go at all now. So those are functional cures. The big one out there, CRISPR Therapeutics is going for it, so is Vertex, is diabetes. If those companies think that disease is possible to cure, I believe it, because those management teams are exceptional. So that's genomics, and I think artificial intelligence is really what is forcing this convergence between and among platforms. We see artificial intelligence training costs dropping 60% per year, and breakthroughs happening today that we didn't think were going to happen for 10 to 20 years. For example, now with DALL-E 2 and GPT-3 and other breakthroughs, we're beginning to see that developers can, get most of their code written by a machine before they take over. That wasn't supposed to happen for years. And you're also seeing art come about in a way that, I see our analysts using DALL-E 2 for artistic and creative reasons, and it's astonishing what used to take $150 as a graphic designer to draw and create now takes $1 or less. You know, it's pretty, and it's going down to 30 cents and 5 cents. So we're seeing this massive compression in costs in technologies that is going to allow the creator community, we think, to explode.